none other than Joe Burrow for MVP. I mean, what he was able to do to lead that team to the Super Bowl last year, I think what he showed was that he's more than just a skilled quarterback, right? He's got the leadership quality. He's got the it factor. And I think at the end of the day, he is the most valuable player.
Yes.
I said before, I don't think, although I love Lamar on the Ravens, I don't think they're super Lamar dependent. I think any other athletic quarterback, Tyler Huntley looked pretty decent in that system. He's a very similar quarterback. I think if you take Joe Burrow off of the Bengals, it is nowhere close to a winning team.
It's an entirely different team.
It is
Cincinnati.
a bad football team.
Yes.
And so he is definitely the most valuable player along with the best player, I think.
I would 100% agree with that. He led that team single-handedly, him and Jamar Chase.
Yep.
And there's no arguments for that. And he did it with no help. There's not many other quarterbacks that you could be able to throw into that situation at such a young age in the NFL. Yes, he was older when he came into the NFL compared to other quarterbacks.
But as a second-year guy.
Second-year guy, just 2 years of experience in the league, and bam, he's able to lead him to a Super Bowl like that. Insane. Joe Burrow, MVP.
All right, Offensive Player of the Year. Now, we normally try to give these to guys that aren't quarterbacks just because usually the MVP is a quarterback. But we're going to give it to Lamar here just because of what other things he does, right? We had this conversation. You're like, yeah, but he does so much. And I'm like, that's a great point. So not only is he a thrower and a distributor of the football, but he can run with the football. And he is the heart and soul of that team. So I think an Offensive Player of the Year here seems fitting. I think it'd be crazy to not have him on this list somewhere.
Yeah.
And so he fits in at Offensive Player of the Year if he's not going to be MVP.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he does, like, his rushing ability makes you think of him almost as, like, a cross between a quarterback and some other position of football we've never seen. Like, yes, it's running back, but it's, like, different. There's something about him, about his game that we've never seen before in the league.
He's the new age Slash. So Slash was Cordell Stewart, a Steeler quarterback in the 90s, early 2000s, and they called him Slash because he played quarterback / he would play some wide receiver, which is crazy. And so he's like the new age Slash.
Right, he does so much for that Ravens offense.
All right, Defensive Player of the Year, you got to go T.J. Watt here. I don't really think it's super debatable.
No.
I mean, go through Myles Garrett's the only guy that's close, and I've had that debate 30 times on this very show. Maybe I'll have it again soon to kind of remind you guys before the NFL season, but it's not close between him and Myles Garrett. T.J. Watt is 100% the best player on the defensive side of the football, and you might be able to argue in the entire division, regardless of position. T.J. Watt, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, no arguments there. I mean, the way he's able to get after quarterbacks, stop the run, drop back and cover a tight end even. The dude is so athletic. He fits in so many different spots, and he won Defensive Player of the Year last season, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't expect anything less from him. He's only going to get better. He's still young. He's still getting stronger, and he's improving his game. He's getting smarter and just improving his football IQ at that level. T.J. Watt, DPOY.
I think he's just getting to his prime. I think last year was maybe the first year of his prime, and I think he's got another 5 years of it at least.
Oh, yeah, hopefully like 5 to 6, even more, hopefully. I mean, he's a wrecking ball on defense.
It is a physical position, so I think 5 would be, I'll take 5. Anyway, Breakout. Let's go with wide receiver Rashad Bateman. So him and Lamar started to click a little bit when Lamar went down. I think Bateman went down with an injury, so I think their first healthy season together is going to be good. Bateman's a pretty skilled receiver. Got a little bit of speed. He'll go over the middle. He's not super small. Like he's got a little bit of oomph to him. Right, he'll go over the middle. He'll take a hit. I liked him coming out of Minnesota. I like him here, and I think he breaks out. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, right, which is going to be up from last year. So I think that's a reasonable prediction for Rashad Bateman.
No, yeah, for sure. I hope to see him break out. I think on that roster and that offense he's set up to.
They got rid of Hollywood Brown, so he's now the number 1 target outside of Mark Andrews. So,
exactly. They've cleared some space. It's his time. He's got to step up now. But Rashad Bateman makes total sense there. Yeah,
and I think also to fulfill our prediction of the Ravens being number 1, they're going to need a big-time target on the outside, so it's only fitting that we make that Rashad Bateman. Coach of the Year, let's go with Mike Tomlin. I think you could argue me into John Harbaugh for leading them to first place, but I think the Steelers, I don't think the quarterback's going to be bad, but I really, really don't think they're going to be good. And so just getting to above 500 with those quarterbacks, I think is going to be, is going to be so impressive from Mike Tomlin. If that I think you're going to have to honorary give him Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and we've never seen Tomlin have a losing season either, which is impressive in itself. His resume adds a little bit of effect to this list as well, I feel like. Just knowing that he's going to be able to take a less talented team, a less talented position group of quarterbacks compared to the rest of the division, compared to the league even.
And give him a shot at the playoffs.
Give him a shot to make a wild card appearance and maybe somehow catch a run. I mean, who knows? Maybe Kenny Pickett will hit. Maybe Mitch Trubisky will hit. We don't know. It's a huge question mark, but I feel like Mike Tomlin is going to be very, very competent and very helpful in steering the ship in the right direction.
I agree, and let's get an honorary assistant coach of the year. I think Brian Flores, being a linebackers coach, is going to be insane for the Steelers. That's going to be a great pickup for them. So to review, MVP Joe Burrow, Offensive Player of the Year Lamar Jackson, Defensive Player of the Year is T.J. Watt. We have Rashad Bateman breaking out in his second year in the NFL, and Coach of the Year, maybe a little biased, but not hometown, but from our hometown, Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are our superlatives for the 2022 predictions for the NFC North.
Yeah, and that's all we have for you guys today.